from 4:30 to 6 o'clock or even earlier, depending. And so we'll try and keep to time, everybody. So you just step in, let everybody step in, and we're going to have the candidates very soon. But I would like to introduce our president, Banji Fentola, President CFA Society Nigeria, who's going to give a welcome address for just 5 minutes to kick it off. So Banji, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, David. I hope people can hear me. First, I'd like to just appreciate the people who put this event together. I'm gradually getting to the point where I'm becoming camera shy as I go into retirement. So, you know, I'm trying to wean myself off all this Zoom and all this kind of things. So hopefully I can do that over the course of the next few weeks. This is an important time in the history of our society. And to be honest, you know, electing our leaders, people that would lead the board into the next level of the organization is never an easy task. Again, you know, throughout my time as president for the last 4 years, I know the amount of sacrifice, I know the amount of, you know, of sleepless nights, so many things that had to go into leading the organization. So as we approached the transition time, you know, I was worried at some point that people may not step up to assume those responsibilities, especially, you know, when people think that, oh, we had achieved a lot and really the bar was higher, etc., and all that. So I was worried, I was personally worried, but I'm very pleased to see where we are today and the zeal that people have really, you know, shown towards being on the next board of our society. So first, I want to thank all the candidates for volunteering to serve. It's never an easy thing to do, but I'm really very happy and pleased that people actually, you know, decided to step up and volunteer themselves as people that will lead our organization to the next level. So to all the candidates, irrespective of the outcome of the election, I really want to express my gratitude, you know, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, to all of you for volunteering to be candidates for election. And I obviously wish everybody the best, and irrespective of the outcome, I'm very sure that we're going to have a very good board. I think to our members, as we think about transition and movement to another board, there are a couple of things that are important. And again, for me, I'm saying this as president and someone who has seen it. I think it's important for us to ensure that we all participate in the election process. We all elect people that, I mean, baseline integrity is taken for granted because, again, as part of nominations committee, we've done a screening on that. So obviously, I expect all the candidates have that already. You know, we should be looking at, obviously, people who are sacrificial, ready to sacrifice their time, ready to sacrifice even their resources in order to lead the society forward. You know, people that will generally, you know, move us, take big leaps, you know, take big steps. We don't want to be taking baby steps at this point in our evolution. So as we think about the ballots and as we think about candidates, as we listen to them, I want to challenge members to ask questions around the vision, you know, the vision that people are bringing to this office. Because again, the vision is important. If we don't have the right vision, then our society is not going to move to the next level. So I think as we go through this program today, let's please keep that at the back of our minds. Let me just talk briefly on how we're providing support to candidates as a society office. So the society office itself, as we had a meeting this morning, and one of the things we've tried to do is to create, to give you access to all the voters, essentially people who are going to vote. I mean, I was pleased to see all sorts of campaigns on LinkedIn and all that. You know, I was at some point waiting, checking my CNN to see if somebody has been bold enough to go on CNN, you know, to start campaigning. But there's no need for all that. We try to streamline it for you, essentially, by giving you access to the voters. And so we've created an email address, which I think should be useful for you to directly address every single person that will be voting or is eligible to vote at the election. So an email went out earlier this afternoon. You should have received that. Please make use of it. Every candidate is, I think, allowed maximum of 3 emails between now and next Friday. So please use the 3 emails to communicate directly to members. We're also working on a voting platform, which I believe Society Office should have an outcome over the weekend, which I think should be a first for us in our society to ensure that our election integrity, so it's not questioned by anybody. When people start saying stop the count and all that, it's not going to happen here. So that's that. I will just close by, again, please begging all our members. This is history being made here. We really need to come out and vote. It's electronic. It will take you less than a minute or 2 maximum to do this, but it's your civic responsibility. So March 12th, every single member, please come out and vote. Let's come out and vote and usher in the next leaders of our society. It's extremely important. And I think I would really, really like to appeal to you. I will still be appealing to you between now and next Friday. So please come out and do the needful for us to usher in our next group of leaders. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for this meeting. Thank you, David, for accepting to moderate, and for everyone that's worked behind the scene to put this together. I'll be online listening to all the manifestos of the candidates. Thank you, David. Over to you.
Thank you, Banji. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for all of you coming. We have about 47 people here now, and hopefully more are coming in. And of course, candidates as well. So I'll just give quick ground rules, tell you how we're going to run this, and then we move on. As usual, we want to keep to time. So we just had our speech by our president, Banji. Thanks, Banji. And I'll just give you quick ground rules, so the rules for how this is going to run. And then we go straight into the candidate speeches. So every candidate is going to have 5 minutes to speak. Typically, we're going to have 3 positions we're talking about today. We have the treasurer, we have the general secretary, and the assistant general secretary. One of the positions is fully contested. We have 2 people vying for the assistant general secretary role. And we have, so I'll introduce the candidates shortly, but let me just give you the rules, right? So this 2021 BOG elections virtual campaign, these are the rules at play. So I am acting as the moderator. So the moderator will give a brief description of each role before the candidates give their speeches. Each candidate has 5 minutes each to give their speech and 10 minutes per candidate for Q&A. Now, obviously, if it's just one candidate, just 10 minutes for Q&A. When dealing with multiple candidates, however, the Q&A time allocation will be merged. So we have 20 minutes for Q&A and taken together. So we just take the Q&A together, depending on the question who would answer. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to each question. I'll be keeping time, so please make sure you stick to that time. And I, as a moderator, can also adjust the questions and even probably ask my questions. I'm not only the moderator, right? I'm also a member. So that's how it's going to run. So I'm going to start off with the first role, first position, which is the treasurer. So that the treasurer shall oversee the receipts and disbursements of all funds, maintain the society's financial records and statements, submit an annual financial statement and budget to the Board of Governors, and such other statements as the president may require, and have such other duties and powers as prescribed by the CFA bylaws, the Constitution, and the Board of Governors and bylaws as well. So that's the treasurer's role. And for the position of treasurer, what we have on the ballot is Folake Bankole CFA. I don't know if Folake is here, just to acknowledge you're here. Mute.
I can't see her here, but you can mute herself.
Hi, David. I'm here.
Hi,
yeah,
Folake. How are you doing?
Hi.
Good. So
right.
Folake, I'll just give a quick intro to you, and then yes, you can give your speech, just a 5-minute speech. So Folake Bankole is a financial analyst and strategist fueled by curiosity, so excellence and innovation. She's currently the Chief Financial Officer of Sigma Pensions Limited, one of the top pension fund administrators in Nigeria. She joined Sigma Pensions when Actis PE Fund acquired the company through the investment company Actis Gulf. She works closely with the board and is also responsible for the financial management of Actis Gulf. Folake is passionate about knowledge building, especially in the area of financial literacy, and thus participates actively in various financial support forums. She has delivered several professional training for both CFA and ACCA professionals. So I'd like to welcome Folake, and Folake, if you can give your 5-minute speech, and then we jump into Q&A. Thanks, Folake.
Thank you, David. Speech, okay. So for CFAs, for the CFA Society Nigeria and the CFA Institute, there's a lot of work that we do in the background that is not covered in like events and all the things we publicize. But these activities are key to the running of the society. So things like fundraising, making sure events run smoothly and they're well funded, making sure that the society office runs effectively, making sure we have a business plan in place to run our activities for the year, making sure we have the strategic objectives in place, the long-term and the short-term, and implementing them accordingly. So those are some of the things that we focus on the back end that you wouldn't see in the front end. These are some of the key activities of the treasurer, which I've done over the past 2 years. We've done that very well. We've been able to run our events. We've been able to fund our activities. We've been able to implement our strategic objectives in line with all the things we've set. So these are the things I want to continue to do. We want to continue to empower the committees and the society office to implement all the programs, all the activities, all the events that we want to do to continue to improve the visibility and the reach of the society office. Apart from that, I also work with the board to implement activities focusing on the North. This includes our financial training activities, learning and development activities, and advocacy activities that we do with the regulators like SEC, PENCOM, CBN. I'm actively involved in that as well. So those are some of the things, again, I want to continue to do for the society. Given that I've been the treasurer for the past 2 years, strategic objectives and the goals of the society, how it relates to Nigeria locally, the plans that we have to expand and work with other communities and societies in Africa, and what we're trying to do with the CFA Institute as well. So for continuity's sake, I think I'm in a best position to continue to implement those goals for the society. And also in terms of expansion, we want to continue to increase our reach, especially in other parts of the country, in the northern sector. So I'm currently based in Abuja, so I've been doing a lot of work with members and candidates in the northern part of Nigeria. So we want to continue to improve that, increasing the number of universities we have in our university challenge, ethics challenge that we do with the schools, and even the ones we do with the corporate, continue to increase our visibility and expand into more, and to continue to focus on, I'm a big advocate of the Women in Investment Committee, to expand that, to encourage more younger women, more people to participate in the CFA designation, and related certificates that we have as well. I was reading my profile as well. I do a lot of things around financial literacy, primary, secondary school level, high school level. Continue to deepen that work.
I think your line is a bit breaking. I don't know if a third party can confirm that.
Focus on, if given a chance, to continue to.
Yeah, the line was breaking.
Sorry, Folake, your line was breaking as well. So it's network issues, I guess. So are you still there, Folake? Hi, Folake. Okay, I think Folake's line is breaking here and there, but we heard, I think we heard most of what she said. If you have any questions, as anyone in the audience, you have any questions, please type it in the chat. Just type in the chat so we could ask Folake. Any questions you have, please type in the chat. And are you still there, Folake?
We lost her. She's actually off right now.
Okay, she's off. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, everybody, just type in the chat. Type it in the chat. When she gets back, we'll be able to connect with her when she gets back. Right. So type in the chat if you do have any questions. I'll just jump through, go straight to the next thing on the agenda so that when she does come back, we can still continue with her. Right. So the next position is, so if we can go to the next slide, so we'll just jump straight to the next position, okay? Just to save time. And again, please type your questions in the chat, keep them coming. So the next position is for the General Secretary position, and we have Musa Bremberg, CFA, that is here for that role. And what I'll do quickly is just remind you what that role is about, and then we would hear from him. I'll just give a brief introduction to Musa, and then we would hear from him, and then you can have your questions ready for him as well. So the General Secretary role, let me just see if my camera is working. Good. The General Secretary role shall act as secretary at all board of governors and member meetings, including maintaining minutes of such meetings, maintain the corporate seal, and certify the authenticity of the board's actions and officer signatures. It will also notify the members and board members of all meetings in accordance with the Constitution, comply with all requests for information from the CFA Institute, and have such other duties and powers as prescribed by the CFA bylaws, the Constitution, by the Board of Governors, and by the law. So we have Musa Bremberg. Musa is head of External Funds Management Office in the Reserve Management Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria. His main function is to provide oversight on the external asset managers responsible for the management of a portion of the bank's foreign reserves. He has over 19 years experience in Nigeria's financial sector with expertise in investment management, banking operations, budget and budgetary control, and human resource management. Over the years, he has been involved in the financial product development, non-interest financial instruments, fixed income portfolio management, financial analysis, and project valuation. So Musa is very experienced, 19 years experience. He has a lot to guide and to share with us. And I would like him to have a few words, maybe just quick few words on what he plans to do for the next, we like to use that word in Nigeria, dispensation. And also, I would like us to ask him questions too, and see what are the plans moving forward. So over to you, Musa.
Thank you, David. Am I audible?
Yes, very audible. Can hear
Yes,
you.
you are.
Yeah, thank you so much. Coming into this board as in facing to take the opportunity of serving the CFA community in Nigeria just came naturally as a kind of a succession. I know the CFA Society Nigeria was approved in 2012, and then by 2013, of course, it got incorporated, and I got my charter in 2014. Now, it's just a succession. Before even getting the charter, I was involved in preparing candidates for the CFA exam. I've been helping, we had in Abuja here, and then we had Farouk. I've been involved from day one in the preparation in all activities of the CFA Society, especially when it's involved Abuja and the North in general. So I'm positioned in that area to deliver, to continue delivering those services that we've been doing. Now, the mission of the society is to promote the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria. And what I want to bring to the board, and that is my proposition, is actually bringing in diversity to the board. I'm not coming to the board for record keeping. That is the major function, secretariat, record keeping, maintaining the seal and all that. No, I'm coming to contribute to the board decision, and that is what I do. I said I bring diversity because diversity is very important for an effective board. In terms of diversity that I'm talking about, I'm bringing diversity in terms of location. The fact that I'll be coming from, I'll be operating here in Abuja, of course, for like is here, will mean that we have a faster leg to places here in Abuja than if we are all operating from Lagos. But most importantly, and this is key to the board, I am bringing a different kind of perspective, what I call the regulatory perspective, the regulatory mindset. When you look at the whole set of people contesting for different positions, you see that most of the people we have are people that are in the private sector, people who have grown up doing things and thinking about things in the same private sector way of doing it. Instead of looking at the players now, you have someone who has been a regulator for a long period of time, who has a mix, so coming from different areas, coming from I started from the private sector, I ended up being a regulator. So I have this different perspective that I'm going to be bringing to the board so that we look at things differently. Now, another area which is also related is the fact that for me, I see our relationship with the regulators, I see an opportunity in there. I want to commend the present board. They have done so well, so marvelous. But I also see opportunity for us to just lift that up and continue doing the same good thing. One, I see the fact that we need to also improve our relationship with the regulators in different areas. I have served with an ICANN committees and different areas we have seen where we thought that the private sector will determine what the market should be. But at the end, we saw the importance of having the regulator by the side. So I will bring that advantage to the board, the fact that I have a kind of a relationship with the different kinds of regulatory stuff in Nigeria, and that will be very important for us. For the members, everything we do is going to be for the interests of the members. We're going to be sustaining the trajectory of success that have been established by our predecessors. We are going to make sure that we increase membership base, and the fact that I'm here in Abuja and the location around Abuja gives us another opportunity of increasing the membership base. Other than just the regular membership, we're also going to be utilizing our relationship with the regulators again to strengthen the relationship that we have, strengthened and for the benefit of members. There are so many things we can do, and we all have to do it together. One thing I want to also bring up is the fact that we need to have a kind of an opportunity where members who are very learned in a certain area, who are experienced in an area, can come up, even if it's on a quarterly basis, even in semi-annual basis, to showcase their expertise in that area. And I call it Thought Leadership Series. If we can have that, where members can come and talk to the investment community about an issue that affects the country or the world at large, that will be a way that we can use to establish our position, to establish our vision as a reference point for investment knowledge and practice in Nigeria. I think I want to ask that we go together and then lift this society to a higher level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Musa. If you don't mind, if you can share your video. I don't know if you have that. You can just click on your video to share your video. Okay, good. Because in this day and age, sometimes you don't want to share video because I don't know how we actually change the way we dress. and we have a top, and then there's the bottom bit that really we don't know what people wear there, but it's fine. Anyway, so Musa, thank you very much for that. That's great. I like the way you said about the regulator, as we have to understand the importance of the regulator. It's extremely important that the regulators regulate, and they are setting guidance that they need, and we are the experts. We should kind of contribute to that discourse. I would like to bring Folake there. So what I'm going to do now is Musa and Folake. I don't know if you are you back, Folake?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry for the disconnection. So I'll just have both of you here, and we can do a joint Q&A before we move to the next session. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good, good. So, okay, so someone was asking for camera. So I don't know if you have your camera on as well, Folake. We want to see your face. People want to know Folake. Folake's camera is coming on.
I would, but my network is not great, so I'd rather hear my voice. I can share a picture if that would help.
That's fine. You can share a picture. That's good. That's good. That's good. We just want to see you. So I don't know if there's a picture we can put it on a slide. That would be great. All right. So I have a question here from Munzali, and either of you can answer it, or both of you. Do you think it's about time for an Abuja annual conference, considering the increase in number of members? Would you push for that at the board level? So I'm open to both of you.
Can I take that?
So basically about time for Abuja annual conference. That's what. So Musa, would you like to take that first?
Yeah, yes, please. Let me take that. Munzali, that is something that has we've been discussing from the background, but I don't think it's time for now. I believe that we need to consolidate what we have started in Lagos, which has gone for some time now. We need to make it fully functional, and then at least roll it for some time before we start talking about Abuja. How many, if you look at the membership base and you look at the community that we have, we may not be able to do that. But then another thing we can actually do is the same conference. We can actually be looking at opportunities of having an Abuja, having a conference, one maybe in Lagos, and then maybe another period we can also have it in Abuja, and then be changing that from time to time. Missing? Hello? That would be
the network issue there. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Musa.
Yeah, so that would be my opinion, that for now we maintain what we have in Lagos, but then after a while we might decide to just be doing that between Abuja and Lagos.
Okay, great. Thanks for that point. Folake, do you have something to say about that?
Yeah, if I can just add to that. So I agree with Musa in terms of the annual conference, but that doesn't mean we can't have other types of conferences in Abuja. So we know Abuja houses most of our regulators, so we can have like a regulator-focused conference. So it won't be like a full annual conference, but we can focus on that. So you can have those kind of focused conferences that we'll bring to Abuja, as opposed to just having the annual conference. So those are the things that we can think about bringing to Abuja. Yeah.
Yes, let me just add to that. You know, there was a time we were actually, before the virus pandemic came in, we were talking about organizing a kind of all those, replicating some of those Lagos activities in Abuja. We're talking about the breakfast meeting. And in fact, we scheduled some speakers, and we've started discussing how we'll have that. So those are the kind of things I think Folake is also talking about, and there are things we can actually do here.
Excellent. I would like to add to that point as well. And knowing fully well that now we're in a virtual environment, people, I think what's going to be happening now with conferences worldwide is they're going to be blended. There's going to be hybrid conferences. So you're going to have your physical as well as the virtual. And I don't think there's anything stopping Abuja actually having a small venue where the virtual conference would actually hold, and people are actually gathered around the spot having the virtual conference, which is officially holding in Lagos, right? So I think with this new virtual, it's possible to have multiple conferences happening at exactly the same time. I think that's a possibility. So venue doesn't really mean much anymore now than in a virtual environment. That's just my contribution. There's one question to Folake and one to Musa. I think I'll start Folake's. Oh no, let me start with Musa's, because Folake is also a little bit controversial, but I would like to know what form of contribution can we bring to the table regarding the CBN ban on cryptocurrency? Creative can the society put forward to CBN on the scientific way forward?
So again, we have to understand that the CBN is a regulator, and for the CBN, the stability of the financial stability of the system is very, very, very important. So now, for the CBN is always ready. I am not in a position, of course, to talk for the CBN, but knowing what is happening I know the CBN is ready to listen to positions. We have different committees that are actually working on the crypto currency side. Different committees are doing, and the CBN has actually gone so far. One thing we can do is actually give a good position, show where these things are applicable, and then how we can actually make us better. The issue about that is just about the effects on the financial system. And that's what the CBN came out to take a decision on. I don't want to talk so much on that area. I'll just say it's something that we just look at it from a different perspective. If I'm the one, the perspective, if you are the one that is in charge of the financial system, what do you want to look out for? And those are the kind of perspective that we should be writing and be looking at how we can present something for the CBN. Again, I'm not talking for the CBN, please.
All right, super. Yeah, thanks for that answer, Musa. And I have another question for Lake. So this is from Munzali asking, the previous question, by the way, was from Olu. Yeah. So this question from Munzali is for you, Folake. You've mentioned you have been part of advocacy and awareness in the North. Do you think we are making progress? I'm asking because I think a lot needs to be done outside Abuja. And is there a change of strategy in the offing?
Thank you, Munzali, for that question. So I agree with you that there's still a lot to be done. And in the past, we've focused a lot of our advocacy efforts on the regulators, and we've made a lot of progress. We have partnerships with the likes of PENCOM, SEC, CBN. We've done financial literacy programs with CBN. We've done the ethics thing with SEC, with PENCOM. They're part of the GIPS program that we have as well. So we've made progress on that front, but now we want to shift our focus to member and candidate value. And we have things that we've put in place to implement those programs. So for example, one of the things we're doing is we're opening an Abuja office very soon. So here it will increase the impact that we have and the accessibility we have to our members and our candidates, and from there as well, it will be like a bedrock for so those are some of the things we started putting in place. And from our members, we continue to take suggestions on the things they would like to see, the kind of value they would like to see from the Board of Governors, and we'll continue to implement that. So we're always open to suggestions and ideas.
I can also add some points if it's okay. David?
Yes, you can do both. So I'm going to add a question to that, so you can do both of them, because we'll close with this last question and move on to the next. thing on the agenda. Thank you very much for that. So Yali is asking, it's interesting and very encouraging that Abuja members are vying for positions. Here's my question to Musa. Considering your proximity to the seat of power, in what way do you think the society can improve its relationship with the Nigerian government?
Thank you. Let me just, I will come back to this. The other side, I just wanted to add that we're doing some things on some personal level with, of course, Musa and the rest here in Abuja to catch the young, talking to our young university undergraduates about the CFA and actually about financial system opportunities. We have done these things, and I think what we need to do as a society now is also extending some of those activities that we do with some of the universities down up to the north, going to Yola, going to places like Sokoto, going to Maiduguri, going deeper and getting people to become aware of these things, some things that we put on ourselves to do. And with or without the society, of course, we will have to do that as part of what we need to give to the society. Coming back to the issue of this question, I am part of a committee of ICANN that is organized to, for it's like a reception committee for the ICANN president, that you now have to go places and then introduce and get those top shots of the country to understand that there's ICANN existing. And I think that is the kind of strategy that we may have to do here. It was done before when we had a reception done at the Vice President's office.
I'd like to paraphrase what Musa is saying. So based on ICANN, I mean, his experience with ICANN and ensuring that he can schedule meetings with the top shots in government, he can bring that to bear with CFA, and we can have more visibility in the governments. I'm just summarizing what I think he's saying there. So thanks a lot, Musa, and thanks a lot, Folake. We would be going to the next bit on the agenda, but please stay with us in case we can have some more time for you to have a chat at the end. Thank you very much. I would like to say a big thank you to Musa Bagudu, and I would like to say a big thank you also to Folake Bankole.